stories reminded me to eat.
A little tidbit. What are they called? Yeah, timbits.
Timbit.
Oh, that's a
What was
Canadian
the
treasure.
That's a pizza
Podcast. All right, let me welcome you to the Punks on Pizza podcast.
Oh.
Sitting here with Destroy Boys. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to the folks.
Hello, my name is Alexia. I sing and play guitar in Destroy Boys, but I do a lot more singing now. Yeah.
I'm David. I play bass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, ooh, oh.
The lows and the highs.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, first off, I wanted to welcome you to Vancouver, BC. How has Canada been treating you guys so far?
Canada's pretty chill. I think the border crossing went all right. I didn't really have to do much, but it was pretty chill.
It was fast today.
Yeah, it was pretty fast, and it's nice out. I got like a white leather skirt and a nice dress and some crazy sunglasses. So overall, so good so far.
They didn't release the hounds on you.
No, thank God. Maybe when we're leaving. I haven't done anything illegal yet, so.
On the way out, that's
Yeah.
the way to do it.
Yeah.
Did you have any assumptions about playing up here in Canada that either became true when you finally did, or were completely discredited?
Well, I think the only thing that I could really think of for that, it doesn't even really have to do with Canada, but just okay. Seems like places where it is kind of cold all the time, like Seattle specifically, like people don't move around as much at the shows. And that's kind of a thing that I've heard about Seattle, that people don't move, they don't mosh as much. I don't know if that's entirely true, and I don't think that's really true of Canada either. Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tonight.
I always forget. Like,
Yeah.
we played Canada a couple times, but Vancouver, I mean, is my own bias. I like more than like Toronto or Montreal. You know what I mean? I just think it's pretty over here. I like it.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
I like Montreal though. I like
Montreal's like being in a whole other place. That's
Yeah.
like being in Europe.
Yeah.
You know what
French
I mean?
Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
A few months ago, speaking of playing in Canada, you were supposed to play with Mother here in Vancouver, but that did not come to fruition.
Yes.
What happened?
So our guitarist was having a lot of back problems, like her, cervical spine?
Cervical spine.
Like, was all fucked up. And her doctor was like, listen, like, you could play these shows, but I don't know if you'll be able to keep doing it after that. So we were like, okay, like, let's not do that. So it's for medical reasons. Yeah, unfortunately.
We didn't want to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we were just trying to play it safer than be sorry.
Yeah. Like, we were like really, I did too. I was like really excited for that tour. But it was just a case of like, we can't, gotta put our health first, otherwise we can't keep doing it. So, yeah.
No, for sure. And you don't even get to cash in on the free healthcare.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So,
No,
I know.
2 years ago, Violet, I believe, expressed disbelief over opening for bands like Taking Back Sunday and Alkaline Trio. And I was wondering, in those 2 years, who else has been added to that list?
Oh my god. Blink 182, Turnstile, Pierce the Veil. Like, we opened for like PJ Harvey at a festival. Oh man, there's a lot, I feel like.
It's so hard to remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, those are like some standout tours. I mean, the Blink tour was unreal.
Oh my god, wait, we played Coachella. And
Yeah.
like, Bad Bunny was one of the headliners that year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, we didn't like open for Bad Bunny, but I was like, played the same festival, and it was like, oh my god.
You can word
Yeah.
it that way. And get
Yeah,
away with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
More than-
Lollapalooza, like we opened for Deftones, kind of, like that was awesome.
Yeah.
Technically opened for like Fontaine's DC, they were cool
We did a
too.
couple shows with them. It was all festivals.
Festivals.
But,
Those
like,
were
we
festivals. It wasn't like we were on tour with them.
Yeah.
I think the big ones are Blink 182 and Turnstile though. That was
That was
crazy.
a blast.
Yeah, that was very cool.
As a personal interest, was there much crossover with PJ Harvey, or none at all?
No, not really,
That
unfortunately. She had like a whole compound in the back that I like wandered into on accident. I really wanted to talk to her, but it just seemed kind of impossible. But I did get to see her like perform pretty up close, and that was cool. I was like really inspired by her stage performance. She has like furniture on stage sometimes, and then she also just like kind of just like stands really still and has her hands at her sides. Like I like that she doesn't feel like she has to like do a bunch of stuff. She just stands there and like sings amazingly and like gives off that intensity. So yeah.
Now, on that subject, they say don't meet your heroes. Have you ever run into an interaction where that statement has held true?
Not really. I haven't really met any of my heroes. Except, and the ones that I have gone well. Like Marissa from Mannequin Pussy is one of my heroes, and we met her 2019, like toured with Mannequin Pussy, and she's amazing, and the whole band is awesome. So I'm really glad that we met them.
I think that statement's so true, and not because of them, but because of me.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I meet someone I'm like very fond of, I just don't know what to say, and I embarrass I get very starstruck.
Yeah.
You know, like at Coachella, my girlfriend and I had ran into Mac DeMarco and his girlfriend Kira, and Angie, my girlfriend, she was carrying the conversation, and I was just like shaking in my boots, and I was just like, "Jeez, oh frick," you know. So I was just like, he won't remember me, but I was just praying that he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, you know. But that's like,
yeah. It is like the things that like, you know, we have expectations and like putting them on them. I don't know. I've had a good time meeting famous people, so for like people that I admire. Like so far so good, I think. Yeah.
And now with the tables turning and you're all headlining your own tour and you have bands opening for you, how do you feel about the role reversal and now you may be the ones being looked up to that someone may be squeamish to cross paths with?
It's funny. I'm always like, why? I'm like, why are you scared? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why are you intimidated? But it's cool. It's interesting. Like, I love having more control over our set. Our set, like what we want the venues to do, how we want to set up the stage, how much time we get to play. Like, we just have all the control for making the show however we want to make it, which is awesome. But I also do kind of miss like opening, or like we still do stuff. We still do support songs and stuff. Because those are fun because like you just play your 30 minute set and then you're done and like don't have to worry about anything. But I definitely like being like headlining. It's very nice.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like we're not. I find it funny that anybody would be intimidated by us, but that's obviously like
because we're
us.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. I also keep a pretty open line of communication, like with our fans. Like we have a Discord server, and I go on there regularly, you know, and so I feel like there's a little less of like a starstruck nature to it.
Yeah, I wish all bands did that. Like,
I know, because
it's
like,
such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not much of a cool guy. Like I find it really hard to. I don't know. Just weird.
Play that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna like act like I'm hot shit. You know.
The shirt says you're a cool person.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about some other bands from the Sacramento area,
Yes.
and if they either do or don't do anything for you.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go through the list.
Cool.
Cake.
Love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deftones. You brought them
Love.
up.
Incredible.
Fight the
band.
Sky.
Don't know them.
The Fugitives.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I feel like
don't
that's a
know.
punk band. I feel like I've seen patches of that, but no idea.
All good that some of them might fly by.
Yeah.
That's fun. Killing the Dream.
Don't know
Why
them.
is that familiar? I
Like
feel
a
like
hardcore band or something? I don't know.
Pushover.
Don't know them.
Damn, Spencer's Beam.
Nope. Are these like recent bands?
Dude, we just are being put on blast for being the biggest posers right
Yeah.
now. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, I honestly haven't been listening to music, so.
They range. There's a lot of 2010s punk, and there's a few 60s surf bands I threw in there.
Okay.
Nice.
So a couple of these, I'm 25. Some of these may be before my time. Because I was like 15,
Definitely.
16 when I
So
started getting
for
into the punk scene. Yeah.
Trash Talk.
Love Trash Talk.
You're the winner.
Love Trash Talk. I still haven't seen them live. I'm so.
So you know them
good.
more personally?
No.
And,
No, just a fan. I'm just a fan
Fair
of the
enough.
music.
They were one of the goats. Like when I first discovered hardcore, trash talk was like fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because they were still like kind of punk too. They were like more punk hardcore, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, cause like hardcore's super jockey, but trash talk was like chaos. You know what I mean? So they were really cool.
Yeah.
Wolf and bear.
Don't know them.
All right, that's the end of the list.
What about the Cramps? What about Rad?
Wait, were the Cramps
Dog Party, huh?
Sacramento?
Yeah, they met in Sacramento.
Oh, that's a
They're kind of like New York, but
Oh.
they have
Yeah,
Sac
kinda.
origins.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
I mean, I assumed you liked the Cramps.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who were some of the bands that you came up with back home that maybe deserve more attention than they've ever gotten?
Yeah, I think like Dog Party, they've done pretty well for themselves though. Like back home,
I think you should
Rad
count
is great.
SF as well.
Oh yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. There's a band called Bird that I love. Buzz Lightyear, Juice Bumps. What do you think? I'm trying to think of other Ultra Q, Grumpster. What do you think? I'm trying to think. There's definitely gonna be bands that I forget, so my bad.
Bird was
everybody.
really good.
Dude, Bird was crazy. Like
Yeah.
that's a crazy band, bro. Choke Cherry. Then you
Yeah.
come again.
And Taika.
Yeah, Taika.
Yeah.
Like the one of the singers from Choke Cherry was in a band called Taika, or is still in a band called Taika. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like Sac bands. It's been a long time though. I haven't lived there for probably 6 years. Yeah. So I'm a little disconnected. This band called Blouse from Sac that's really good. There's a lot. Yeah, I think I covered a good amount.
That was a good amount.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like LA bands too, but like a little less so.
The LA bands are already famous.
Yeah, they're fun. They're good. Oh, Boy Switch. We didn't grow up with them. But I just want to shout that out. They're a crazy cool band. More new.
Back to the beginning and hometown, what were some of the venues that you initially started to gain your chops at, as it were?
Yeah, so we played a lot at Cafe Colonial in the Colony in Sacramento on Stockton Boulevard. They're two venues that are like literally right next to each other. And so we played those rooms a lot. I'd say like Harlow's a good amount too. House shows in Sacramento, just like around different, there's a bunch of different houses. And like the Red Museum in Sacramento, that's a really cool place. But definitely the Colony and Cafe Colonial are like number one, I think, for Sac, like starter. We just played like probably at least 10 shows between the two of them. And that's a low ball for how many shows we played there. But yeah. What about San Diego? Where'd you do stuff? I know, just like how like places that like don't exist anymore. Parking lot. Yeah.
Now, I heard you toured with Lagwagon at the age of 19.
Yes.
What are some of the standout memories from that tour?
I had just gotten my tonsils taken out, so I was on one. And I was like, oh fuck. It was a pretty short tour though. I don't remember that tour very much. Except Little Joe, Miss Doak, we love him. And the big guy too. They're very funny. They're really chill. I was happy about like they're super chill, nice, down to earth guys. Yeah.
I wasn't on that tour, but Little Joe's one of my favorite bass players of all time because he was in a band called RKL from Oxnard, Rich Kids on LSD. Craziest bass you've ever heard for a punk band. It was insane. So nuts. It was like fusion bass in a punk band. It was unreal. But yeah, they're really good.
What Claypool could have been.
Yeah.
In the field of touring, I was wondering if there was anything about touring you once dreaded that you've come to enjoy, and vice versa.
You should go first.
Oh, jeez. That I once dreaded that I've come to enjoy. I mean, I think there's things that I used to enjoy that I now dread, like being stinky.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Like not getting a shower.
I've been touring since I was 14, you know? And so it's like when I was a kid, I was like kind of like, fuck it. It's so funny, like doing it like super DIY for so long and then like coming in like and having a tour manager and like this, that, and the next. And it's just like, wow, I just never, it all happened before I had the opportunity to be responsible for myself. You know what I mean? So it's just like by the time I was 18 is when we had gotten our first TM. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that was our first TM tour, so still, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
you know what
I know.
I mean? So it's like, I mean, it's just kind of the same, just bigger. But now it's like we have more. It only gets better. You know what I mean? If you grind and hustle, you know what I mean? But there's nothing I think I've dreaded about it, except for being away from home.
Yeah.
And like, and that, it's like, it's always a mixed bag, because you're always going to be like, oh man, I like miss the things at home. But it's just like, it is such a like unique opportunity, and it's like really beautiful to have the like opportunity to open up your perspective and like see the world this way, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know.
I think I used to. I think now I kind of dread like how much downtime there is, because yeah, it's kind of gotten to the point where like I kind of just have to take care of myself and play, and like if I get sick, like we're fucked, you know.
Yeah.
Which is kind of stressful because it just is. And I don't know, I think that a lot of times there's like just a lot of time to kill, but it's not like I can't go to the forest because I have to be back in 2 hours, you know. So it's like 2 hours, and then you're free, and then you're busy for an hour or 30 minutes, and then you're busy, and then you're free again for another hour and a half. And so it's sometimes it's like, I don't know, like there's a lot of time, which is a good thing, and it's like I don't want to sound like an asshole by like complaining about it, but sometimes I do wish that I don't know,
More time to see the cities.
yeah, I do wish that there was
We're
like
only in like
more.
a city for a day, so it's just like you tour so much, and you're like, okay, I got like this couple blocks this
Yeah,
time.
exactly,
I'll get
that
this
I
couple
can-
blocks
yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
You know?
But I still I love traveling. I love like seeing new places. I love meeting new people and like eating new food, and just kicking it and getting like vibes of different cities. So it's still awesome, you know. But yeah, just sometimes the downtime is just like, fuck, what am I gonna do for 5 hours, for like 4 hours? Like,
That's why you see like people that have been touring for like 30 years. They just bring freaking treadmills.
Yeah,
and, like,
for real.
Like weights, and they're all, you know.
yeah.
All right, I was wondering if you could tell me about going from Donut Warriors to Hopeless Records.
Donut Warriors. What is that?
It had said that was the record company your first EP was put out through. That's what I read.
You know, I forgot a lot of things that happened in Roditis Destroy Boy, so that could be very true.
Donut Warriors reminded me to eat.
My little tidbit. What are they called? Yeah, Timbits.
Turn back.
Oh, that's a
What was the
Canadian
question?
treasure. Going from Donut Warriors to Hopeless Records, or tell me about your relationship with Hopeless Records and Donut Warriors.
Yeah.
Since the...
I mean, it's just been cool to just like keep, you know, leveling up and having more people to kind of help out and like make the production of the show like as good as it can be. It's kind of nice, like, to have other people take care of stuff, like people who are better at doing that than I am. It's been pretty chill. Yeah, not too much to say about them. Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Record labels are just an interesting machine that I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
you know.
me too.
So it's just like DIY labels, like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like big with like teams and like, it's just like that's so beyond me.
But that's nice because we can be like, hey, we need art for this. Like,
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
It's definitely like an asset.
Yeah.
You know, which is like I'm grateful for.
Yeah. Or like, we need a photographer, and then they all pick photographers, and you know, we'll kind of check it out and see what we think.
And I love Tobin.
Yeah, me too. I like the
Tobin's
advice.
very sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron, like
Yeah,
the two
Aaron's
people who
so
work there. Like, it's nice having some people to talk to who are in the industry who've been doing it for longer than I have. You know, yeah.
I had seen in the interview that you stockpile beer, but none of you actually drink beer. It's part of the crew. And
Our
you're-
crew loves beer.
And I saw you drinking a non-alcoholic beverage. Is
I was
that-
having
Yeah.
a sparkling water.
Yeah.
I drink like I'm not sober, but it's just on the road. It's hard to drink every night without wanting to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like you like I used to, for so long I would go on tour and like drink every night and like used to do drugs and all that jazz, and then it's just like you do that. And then you're like, oh, why am I sick? Why, like, everything sucks. You wake up and, like, you're just in pain and you don't want to play the show and you play the show bad, but you have to keep drinking to, like, be able to, like, and it's just a crazy cycle.
Slippery slope,
It's just
yeah.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was just like, you get caught up in, like, being excited about touring, but, like, you know, you get older and you're like, fuck, like, I have to look out for myself.
Yeah.
You know?
I just feel like that's a kind of a thing with like our generation, like, I mean, my friends, like, will drink, but, like, we don't try to get really fucked up. Like, sometimes it happens, you know, shit. It happens
sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like, it's just not, we're just kind of mellow. Like,
I'm sure 3 weeks in I'll get absolutely hammered one night.
I feel like there's, like, once a week on tour where like, we'll get faded. But yeah, just drinking isn't, like, the biggest, I don't drink very much anyways, for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know some people who disagree with me. They're like, I was like fucking hammered. And I was like, that was an accident.
Weed is better.
Yeah, we smoke weed.
Speaking on this generation's kind of lack of drinking and being on the rise, the term California sober, what are your thoughts on it?
That's so good.
I think I don't know. It's funny. I think it's hilarious.
I think that's perfect. Because I think, okay, here's the thing. I'm not a stoner, right? Like, I don't smoke weed, and like that. Like, I'll like take like 2 hits of a joint before bed, and then I'll be like set. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think that does anything to me. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'd rather that than like people like be like doing all kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
Or even like psychedelics, which is like, that's neither here nor there. I don't really have an opinion on it, but I don't know. I think hard drugs and alcohol is not really in. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a good look. Yeah. You know.
I will say, like, the term California sober, it's like, oh, you're not really.
I think it depends
on the. You're not really like, because weed is fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
It
like,
can get intense.
I hit a joint like last year on tour and just had the like. It was like I drank like 6 shots in a row.
People make it weird now.
You know what
people
I mean?
have weird weed now.
Weed is like 35%. I'm like, bro, I literally am gonna die if
it's
I.
It's like
do
moon
that.
rocks and stuff.
Die, but, yeah, and so it's like, you know, like, are you really sober? You know what I mean? Like, but I agree with like,
that's
you know,
true.
I agree with like, if you know, if the other option is like, is heroin, then like. Love harm reduction. We love harm reduction. But it is kind of like, but you're not really sober. Like, weed is fucking crazy.
Smoke home.
Although I will say that, like, people with chronic pain and stuff, the weed doesn't affect them the same way. You know, because I know someone, like, or I know a couple people who have, like, chronic pain, they smoke weed, they're like, I'm, like, not even high. It just makes my pain go away. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Because, like, if I smoked the same amount of weed, I would, like, pass away.
Canadian, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the topic of psychedelics, have they ever played an important role in either of your lives?
Not important. Like,
I think like it's really like, I think that psychedelics have given me wonderful experiences that I continuously like look back on, like taking shrooms and just, I remember I took shrooms and I was like, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna do this, and then the shrooms were like, you're gonna stay in your room, the sun's setting, my room faced west, and so like the sunset, I just like chilled out in my room, did all my favorite things, and like, but it was I just had the best time, and like, can I say this on TV? Like, I did DMT, did I say that?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the Beatles interview where Paul McCartney's like, yeah, we've had acid.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like, I did DMT, and like, oh, that was amazing, that was so cool, like very... Really, it was like at my house, like it was kind of spur of the moment, and I just remember I felt like, whoa, you know, I had like a wonderful sort of like spiritual experience that I'm not going to get into. But I like psychedelics. They haven't really played too much of a part in like the music, necessarily like directly, but probably indirectly, you know. I think psychedelics have given me a lot of like some resets, some reminders about like what life can be like, you know. Yeah.
I think it's just like a cheat code, you know what I mean? Because all that you can like, everything that you have like inside of you that like you see during a psychedelic experience, you can see without it, but it's just like, it really just like zooms it in, you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't need it, you know what I mean? But I think it's like, I mean, sometimes it's nice, like in Italy, you know what I mean?
That was so nice.
You know?
I definitely did not, you know, there definitely weren't shrooms in Italy somehow, and the water definitely did not look like mercury. And I definitely didn't eat a big plate of pasta being like, oh my god, like Rancid's right there. Or like, I don't know, on that tip of like everything's inside you, you know, like I did Molly a couple years ago, and like, listen, it was at my house, and then I just felt so good, and I was like so in like a pit of depression. I did Molly, and I was like, wow, you know, and I was like, this isn't affecting me. And then I go back to my room, and then I like am looking in the mirror, and I'm like, and I'm like, I brushed my hair for like 15 minutes. I had like long hair. And I was like, oh yeah. But then it just kind of reminded me of like how it feels to feel happy and like content. Just like kind of reconnected me with those feelings. And so after that, like that was, you know, I didn't do Molly again for a couple years after that. Because I just didn't have any, and I didn't feel like going out of my way for it. So it can help with like reminding you, hey, like you don't have to feel like shit all the time. Like you know, the trees want to talk to you. And
for the record, we don't condone any use of any kind.
Yeah, we're not encouraging anybody to do like if you do drugs, that's on that's your own choice.
Yeah.
But if you are in Italy.
Yeah, but if you are in Italy.
Now, you were asked what's one thing that you want people to know about the band, and I believe the answer was that you are in fact a silly band.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there are any behind-the-scenes moments of this tour so far that would speak to that.
Oh jeez.
It's been 2 days, but I feel like we already do have stuff. Well, okay, so our friend is Stasha. She plays in this band called Jigsaw Youth, and so she's playing guitar for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's from New York, and she has like she has this like just a real New York accent, like straight, like she just is. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's been really fun. Oh, Rock of Love.
Yeah.
Rock of Love has been a highlight.
I mean, it's so early.
Yeah.
And we've been so serious in this interview too.
Yeah, I know.
Like, but I like it. I like it too because I'm not in a silly mood right now.
Yeah.
But I think that when all of us get together, it's like when everybody's together, it's bits. I mean, it's really like not like crazy stories. We just like really love. It's like being kids. You know what I mean? You're like it's having siblings and you're stuck in your bedroom all day. It's like, what are you gonna do with them except for play?
Yeah, we just entertain each other. I'm thinking about The Border this morning.
Yeah.
And like we were all just sitting there in a row while Jess is like doing something.
Alexia did a performance.
I did a performance.
Yeah.
And then like we just couldn't stop talking, and like it's always just like chitter chatter, like you know, like it's so funny. Like I wish I could describe it. No. It's hard to catch on camera. It's like a ghost.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we've been talking about doing a reality TV show just because that would be so hilarious.
It would be so. I've been writing down
because if there was cameras all the time, then you could get some like. It's just like it's like watching TV sometimes, just like hanging out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess like this was funny. Like I have touring sitcom like notes, and like yesterday we had merch and they didn't take a merch cut, and everybody in the bus was like, yeah, like we were all so stoked.
Just funny little tour stuff.
The whoopee cushion still coming out?
No, I did bring a disguise on this tour though.
All right.
Maybe I'll wear it tonight. I don't know.
You should. Halloween.
Watching your appearances on Bus Invaders, I noticed that you went from the van to the tour bus that we're currently sitting in. What were some of the issues that you had in the van that the bus has completely eliminated?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Hotels. Like, one, you don't have to pay for hotels. And when you have 10 people traveling with you, like...
Hotels is like it's like 2 people to one hotel room. Hotel rooms can be like $100 up and upwards.
Yeah.
You know, depending on where you're staying. So that's like a huge expense every night.
And like, the bus is like really fucking expensive, but it's also worth it. Just makes the tour a lot better because like, at least for me, or I guess like, I fall asleep really late. I tend to, maybe like 3 in the morning around there. And then you take into account time changes. So it's like 3 in the morning California is 6 a.m. in fucking New York. Mm-hmm. And so it's like with the hotel, you get in at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you have to get up at 11 to leave because that's when checkout is usually. And so this is nice. The bus is nice because like if I fall asleep at 4, like I can sleep until 1, you know? And like sleep is like, for a singer, for I think any musician, but like especially for a singer, it's like I need to sleep. Like I could do 1,000 drugs the day before, and if I get 8 hours, like I can play the goddamn show, you know, for the most part. I don't do drugs like that, but definitely the sleep I feel like is the most important.
It also just removes like the logistical nightmares of like, oh, okay, we get out of the venue at like midnight, and then we have to drive 2 hours if we're gonna still want to make the show in the next city, and then we have to wake up and drive like 5 hours. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, you're like sleeping for such a short amount. You get to the hotel, you shower, you're sleeping for such a short amount of time. That is just like, it's like, oh, it's like I would like we spent all this money for like just to like get like 3-4 hours of sleep, and it's like you have to get some sort of sleep.
Yeah.
Like not like 10 people aren't gonna sleep in a van.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It just removes that like nightmare a lot, and like routing becomes so much easier where it's just like you can make long drive, like especially if you're supporting a big band.
Yeah.
Like it's like some of these route because they're all on buses too, so it's like they can do routings like that. You know what I mean? So it's like doing that in a van. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So
I think it
hard.
helps with like the people stealing your shit thing too, because I was so paranoid about like getting our stuff stolen. I was looking for some wood to knock on, but I'm just not going to say what I was going to say. It's not wood. I don't know.
I don't know. Why not?
Look at that. Oh, actually, underneath, like we've never had anything stolen. Thank God. But like I think that the bus, it's like, well, there's almost always someone here. So it's like if someone's going to try and steal the trailer, number one, it's a big ass trailer, so good luck.
Yeah,
like
good
that's
luck.
going to cause a scene. And just like we don't have to cover everything up because like in a van, you know, there's windows everywhere. You have to cover it up, but then you also need the windows so that the person who's driving can see. And so it kind of removes that stress of like, is our stuff gonna get stolen? Like, are we gonna have to put a GoFundMe on the internet? Like, I don't want to. Yeah.
I feel like people don't need to think to stuff on a tour bus. We have 2 giant padlocks on the back, and like there's no windows, and like it's like
you have no idea what it is.
yeah.
That's fair.
I also wonder if people would target tour buses though, because there is shit.
That would be the most psychopath. Like,
But it's also like if someone does something, like we'll hear it.
yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
Sure.
So it's like you can't.
Then
It's
Michael
hard to get
will
away.
wake up and kick their ass.
Dude, so hard.
I feel like the tour bus usually gets targeted for autographs and pictures.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one song to spearhead the legacy of Destroy Boys, what would it be?
What do you mean?
If all of your music disappeared but one song,
Ooh. Okay.
what's the one?
Why do I want to say Fences? It's one of my favorites. But also you hear
Such a hard
Yes.
question.
I know.
I was gonna come in and ask your favorite color, but
I feel like You Hear Yes is a pretty strong one.
I would say that
like
too.
it has features on it too, which is why I'm kind of like on the fence about picking that one. But I also think that
I had that exact same thought.
Yeah,
I was like, this is just like I think
it's
like
like-
sonically, it's like poppy and punk and not pop punk.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Destroy Boys is a band that's like there's pop elements and there's punk elements, but it's so far from pop punk. You know what I'm saying?
Like it would be
It's
pop
like-
punk if that was if pop punk wasn't already sort of like a genre that has its own vibe to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I see. I feel.
But
like
it's just
pop
alternative rock. You know what I mean? But it's really good, and that song I think is like such a good
Yeah, I think so
representation of like the
too.
band sonically.
Me and Vi both sing on it, and Missy from Mannequin Pussy, Cat from Scowl. I feel like the collaboration aspect also is a testament to the band too, because like I feel like I'm always trying to bring my friends on tour,
Yeah.
like the people that I know who work really hard that like want to go on tour. I'm like, let's fucking do it. Like, get on this show, put my homies on this show, like do this song. Hey, I need some art. Can you do it? Like always trying to like keep it within the community as much as I can. Obviously, there's like a lot that I don't know anyone who like does that, but yeah.
We're fueled by love and friendship.
Yeah. True.
The Canadian lad, the great and wise Colin Burrows, the legendary Chachi on Acid, once said you can measure your success by how many bootleg products you find online. And I wanted to bring that up because a friend of mine had known that I was doing this interview. I brought it up, and they sent me to a Temu page
No way.
with Destroy Boys buttons.
No
way.
I swear to God.
That is so freaking funny.
So I was wondering what you think it's funny, what your thoughts would be on that.
I do kind of think it's funny. For a long time, like we didn't have our vinyl online. We like don't have that much merch, like cool merch online. And so I fuck with bootlegs when someone makes it. I don't like it when people are like making a profit off of like our stuff and not giving us, and like we don't get the money, because it's like you're just stealing my intellectual property. As opposed to a fan that's like, I want to make a Destroy Boys t-shirt because all their shit's sold out. I'm gonna make one for myself or two for me and my friends. Like that's literally, I don't care. And it's cool. I think, like, yeah, when people, like, end up profiting a lot off of it, that would bother me. I haven't heard of that happening yet. Maybe it has, though.
I don't know.
I know, for real.
The thing is, like, my perspective on it is that, like, we're gonna get ours no matter what.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
And I come from, like, a big part of... Good morning,
Good
Nurse.
morning. Oh, should we close the door? Sorry.
Oh, would you like us to? No. But it's just like
making
like,
big Sam.
I get such a rise out of like the Grateful Dead. But like, you know, like the Grateful Dead community, and like they'll do like they follow the band around, and then like they always have like a flea market outside of the shows wherever they're playing, and everybody's bootlegging the merch and like drawing, making like drawings and stuff, or like on their t-shirt, like fabric marker shirts, and like people are trading it with each other and like for other Grateful Dead stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're making their own bandanas and.
But that's like from the fans.
I know. It's
you know,
really
so I feel like
when
it's from the fans, I'm like, do whatever you want, because you like if you come to the shows, like if you listen to the music, like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess it's all about intention.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because
really
if there's like a fan, like they're like, oh, I have like I made like Destroy Boys like cards that I want to give to other fans. You know what I mean? Like. That's cool, but then if it's like some slimy dude that's like Destroy Boy shits outside of the show, you know, it's like kind of like
it's like
you don't care.
Like,
You're just making a buck.
Bootleg merch is cool sometimes too. It's so funny. Literally, like one of the Discord mods like sent a message that was like, "Oh, I found Destroy Boys like on this random German vinyl," and I was like, "I have no idea what this is. Like where? Like it's on a compilation and it's a new song." And so I'm like, "All right."
Imagine if it was unreleased.
Yeah, like, that'd be great. I'd be like, who did that?
I think bootleg is a lot cooler if it's like one of one. You know what I mean? Like if someone like drew a Destroy Boy shirt or screen printed their own Destroy Boy shirt, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna sell it to whoever wants it. You know, it's like whatever. You know, but like if you're like just pumping them out and selling them outside of the shows, it's like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Also get your bag. You know, whatever. Because I remember we played in Mexico City and I was walking around and Melanie Martinez was playing and there was like streets of bootleg merch and it looked sick.
Yeah.
Like it was cool.
Bro,
you know?
I buy it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm like, I buy bootleg merch. Yeah.
Bro, I
go to Argentina, buy my like, you know, Clash and shit. Yeah.
That's more so about the merch. How do you feel about like bootleg live recordings?
That would be crazy.
I'm like, if you have one, you know, do whatever you want. I guess. I'm like, put it on YouTube, please. Like, I want to see.
Yeah, I'd rather it be free for sure.
Yeah.
I do think that. Like, in terms of live recording, I think that's more of a shame to me because I feel like that's something that I want people to, like, be able to experience physically. You know what I mean? And, like, because we make it, like...
Lay on the horn, bud.
What the fuck?
We have a lot of intention with the experience. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
I'd like it to be appreciated as it was meant to be.
It's like, at least put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, final question of this interrogation. I ask everyone the same thing. That's how I end it. What was your worst venue bathroom experience?
Oh, jeez. My memory's so bad.
I know, dude. I'm like, I don't remember anything.
Nurse. Yeah. What was the worst venue bathroom experience we've ever had?
What was the worst one?
Yeah, like what's the horrible standout bathroom?
Any festival that has porta potties.
No, I don't.
At the beginning of the day, they're great. At the end of the day, they're horrible. Just like porta potties.
My favorite venue bathrooms are like
stickers.
When we have arenas and then it's like the locker room
shower.
The locker room showers.
I love those.
Because it makes me feel like a sports guy.
Yeah.
And Narce slaps my butt and it's nice.
I don't like any toilet that doesn't have a plunger next to it.
Whoa.
I don't like that.
I rarely see plungers.
Because I thought I was going to clog the toilet today, and I'm really glad I didn't, because there wasn't a plunger next to it.
The first day I was on the road, I clogged the toilet. I was in a pilot. At a gas station. At a trucker gas station, I clogged the toilet. These toilets are meant for truckers.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess the weird one was, like, we stopped somewhere in, like, literally the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't even remember, like Montana, Wyoming, something like that. And there was a bathroom, and there was like a little vintage heater next to it. I really like that, actually. That was pleasant. It was like wood paneled bathroom.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
I think we might have been in the van. But yeah, worst venue bathroom they're all pretty alright.
No
It's
issues out of country? I've heard that one often.
Out of country?
Yeah, like...
My brother.
I think just... I'm like thinking about Luxembourg, but that doesn't count. I think the one downfall of the bus is like that you can't poop on it, which I mean obviously
Which is
a
good
good thing.
Important,
But then I
dude,
remember like being in Chicago and then it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Luckily there's a bar
yeah, because it's
nearby.
always like,
So
dude,
late.
anytime you have to go and it's late night and you're like stopped, and especially in Europe because like the schedule's all flipped, your body's all flipped upside down and stuff. It's like, it's so scary. I had to run to like a liquor store and I asked I was like, please, dude, please let me use the bathroom. It's a liquor store. They don't like let
never
people.
do that. Yeah.
I would go inside and there's like, I walk outside and, or like, as I'm inside, I hear like 2 girls laughing. And I'm like,
Oh my God,
jeez.
they're about
Like,
to take
I
you
hope they're
home.
like not laughing about like how stinky my poop is. I don't know. They're speaking
Oh.
in another language. And I walk outside and they were like, oh, and they looked all shocked and I was like, I'm gonna wash my hands. And they were like, you did great tonight. And I was like, oh.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so, I was just like, oh man.
That's always crazy. Jeez.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. I'll get out of your hair.
Yeah, no, good.
You're like, yeah, get the fuck out.
You have beautiful hair, by the way.
Oh my God.
Reminds me of my
thank you.
hair. When I was blonde.
I know you said 15 minutes brushing your hair. I was like, that's overbrushed.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was pretty. It was like as long as yours at the time. Yeah. I was just like, Let's get fast. All mollied out.